Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Matt Diazable coming at you with another album review. I hope you're doing well, and thanks for coming on by. Today, we're checking out the latest album from Job for a Cowboy with their newest album, Moon Healer. Now, this band started back in like 2002 when a lot of the members who are or not in the band anymore were in high school and everything, and they got a lot of traction on MySpace with their EP Doom and everything. Uh, I never particularly got into them at that time, and throughout their whole career, I never really got them, never listened to them. I was always kind of like, yeah, they seem okay from afar and everything, but they played a style of deathcore in their early stages and moved in more to like death metal and then more like symphonic death metal, I think, or technical death metal. They've had some different iterations of the band and everything. And this is my first time ever actually fully on like diving in and listening to them. And I gotta say that because there's different iterations of Job for a Cowboy, um, I think I might like different parts of their career and everything. So this is me checking out Job for a Cowboy with this current lineup and where they are creatively and everything. So with that being said, let's get into this review. The start of this song has a slow and ambient start, it feels, and then it rolls into some normal death metal with some fast pummeling moments and everything, especially from the drums. But overall, it's a slow and groovy song, I think. The guitar work feels very melodic, and the vocals, I want to say they don't seem as iconic as they were before. They seem more of like just a normal death growl. There doesn't seem as many pig squeals and harsh, brutal vocals as they've known for, but I think this is where Job for a Cowboy is now in their careers. Uh, Guitars have a very technical feel to it and everything, and feel very large and everything. But as the song progresses and everything, it feels a bit underwhelming, and especially as a opener. And from what I've heard from Job for a Cowboy, it seemed a little underwhelming overall. Here, there's more of a groove in terms of like the feel of the song, especially with how the bass sounds. The bass sounds really good on this track, especially at the end of the song. The vocals sound better here, I think, and the drums have more blast beats and erratic playing, so it sounds more interesting, I think. Overall, I think it's better than the opening song with more prog style riffs and everything. Not their best work, but still better than the opener. So here's a little clip of Etched in Oblivion. Very, very groovy, right? There's some nice variety here in the vocal department in terms like they add some vocal fries that sound really cool. The riffs and drums are much tighter here and in the pocket is what I mean. And they just have a really good punch to it and everything. Heavy tuning in the guitars, kind of some more djenting style riffs here than death metal. And right when I thought things were going to get a little bit boring and a little bit repetitive, they switch things up a bit and get into like a more groove style that helps like save the song, I think. The opening of this track is very djenty and has some good playing to it. The bass has a really deep feel to it that's nice. The vocals, he comes in really fast, like he's doing like quick like vocal attacks. He sounds really, really good here. I like it. Drums got some nice patterns and fills throughout the song, deep and heavy breakdown. But if I look at the song overall, there's a few moments that are cool in here, but it feels kind of generic in a weird way. So with that being said, I want to play a clip of The Sun Gave Me Ashes, so I sought out the moon. There's a few moments in here, but overall it just feels kind of more slow and technical guitar playing and everything. But as the song progresses, it feels a little disjointed and awkward, and overall kind of boring in a weird way. Compared to this song to the last song, this song doesn't have as much groove and not as much memorable moments to it and everything. So I'm gonna play a clip of Into the Chrysalis Crypts. I think I said that right. Yeah, it just kind of feels like it's here. The guitar work here has a really like dark, heavy, and dense sound to it. It just sounds really, really good. The drums got a good heavy sound to it as well with how slow they are being played. Creates a good sense of doom as I'm listening to this track. And then there's some light guitar work in the background a bit. Helps create a nice contrast on this song and everything. And the bass is mixed in really well on this track. I think overall this is like the best song on the album. More technical death metal here than anything with this sound on this track. The drums sound really good, are in the pocket. They have some good guitar solos, some cool drumming, and overall some fun riffs. The ending vocals sound really good, but as overall package for the song, it just feels kind of like by the time this song comes around, I feel like a lot of what is being heard and played on this track has already been done on previous tracks because it feels very bland and a bit boring. And by this point, it gets a little bit hard to get through this album. On the creative side of the songs and everything, the production sounds really, really good, but it just feels a little bit redundant by this track and everything. Moon Healer. I don't know if I'm gonna get healed from this album from Job for a Cowboy because, like I said earlier, I've never been a big fan of Job for a Cowboy. I never could really like get into them, and this album still kind of proving that I just can't get into them because a lot of what they sound like sounds really generic or like just lacking passion in a weird way on this album. There are some parts that are really cool here with some good solos, some good bass playing here, but overall, there's a lot of mixed things going on here that I think aren't that great or just aren't that fascinating, I think. I will say the most impressive thing here is the guitar work. It has some really good groove here and there, and it's very technical and everything. But even the best parts of the guitar work at times feel a bit boring, generic. Like I've maybe heard this sound before somewhere else, and it's just like, not that great. And I feel like the overall structure of the songs are like crudely pasted together and didn't really feel like they were, I won't say finished, but I think they could have done better. They could have reworked some stuff because it just didn't sound like that great. And everyone's like, yeah, let's just release this album and everything. The vocals, for the most part, they have some variety here and there with some vocal fries and some deep gutturals, but he consistently sounds the same, which isn't necessarily bad, but with everything being kind of boring on here, it just kind of seems like it's just there. The drums sound really, really good at times, but I feel like I'm just hearing a lot of the same stuff over and over. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very indifferent. And also the timing on the drummings at times seemed a little bit awkward and just off pace a bit, I guess. Like the timing was a little off with the drum sometimes. And the bass was fine for the most part, but kind of buried in the mix at times. And so it was really hard to hear. Or I guess not buried, but just like overpowered by the other instruments and everything. So very, very mixed feelings about this album and everything. So I would say this album, oh, but I will say for the most part, the production, minus the bass here and there, overall, it sounds like a good album. I'll give him that. It sounds really good. The tracks maybe not that creative, but it sounds good. So with that being said, this newest album from Job for a Cowboy is a nice and light, okay, 6 out of 10. Yeah, links down below. Let me know what you think. Tell me why you like Job for a Cowboy. Tell me what I missed about Job for a Cowboy. And until next time, bye.